There we go. All right, welcome aboard, my friends. So it's a very interesting afternoon. But my name is Tim, and I've been doing guided tours for most of my adult life. It's actually gotten nicer, I've noticed. I'll tell you a little bit about that. But right now we're starting our tour here on Cabrillo Boulevard. Cabrillo is this big main drag that runs along the Santa Barbara waterfront, right? It is named after Juan Cabrillo. Juan Cabrillo was a Portuguese guy working for the Spanish government who was the first European explorer to sail into the channel back in 1542, all right? He is so they named the boulevard after Senor Juan Cabrillo. And I'll tell you a little bit more about Spanish Santa Barbara later on during our trolley tour. Santa Barbara was actually claimed by Spain back in 1533 when Hernan Cortez, right, landed down in Mexico and claimed California and Mexico for the Spanish crown. Well, friends, one thing that has changed in 20 years is this area. This is known now as the Funk Zone. It wasn't called that back when I did tours here back in the day. This was kind of a light industrial area. There were warehouses here, a little bit of manufacturing. It's kind of a gritty area. Used to be a fish. They used to process fish here way back in the 1800s. But now it's been redeveloped into a sort of a pedestrian party zone, right? Maybe I should say pedestrian entertainment zone. I'll tell you more about that, but right now, coming up on the left side, we're going to be passing by one of the interesting restaurants in terms of just the building, right? On the left side is the Lucky Penny Pizza Place. They do great wood-fired pizzas, but the restaurant's actually covered with 150,000 copper pennies. So yeah, you can see there's some craft brewery. One of Santa Barbara's nicknames is the Riviera of the West Coast. There are 4 islands: Anacapa Island, Santa Cruz Island, Santa Rosa Island, and San Miguel Island. I was lost for a minute. Okay, so these islands are part of the Channel Islands chain of islands. The Channel Islands run up and down the west coast, or run up and down the Southern California coast. All but one of the Channel Islands are not inhabited, right? They're generally considered a state park. Right now, though, my friends, coming up on the right side is East Beach. East Beach is the West Coast center of the volleyball universe. Now, just past the Miramonte down Corona del Mar Street on the right, you'll see a Motel 6 down there, friends. Interesting juxtaposition, right? Only thing is, that is the first Motel 6 ever. First one established there back in the 1950s. And guess how much it cost to spend the night in those days? Yeah, $6, right? Coming up ahead, though, on our right, we're going to be passing by another beach resort called the Hilton Santa Barbara. Developed this beach resort over here on the right side, and for many years it has his name on it, right? That's Parker's Doubletree Resort. Well, he passed away. It got sold to the Hilton Company, and still is an amazing resort. One of the interesting things about this hotel is this building on the right. This is the old railroad roundhouse, okay? This is the building they used to turn the railroad cars around, right? There's rail tracks down here along the waterfront back behind the hotel. State Street is the big main drag that runs through downtown Santa Barbara. State Street is well known for its restaurants, shopping. There's a big mall down there. Santa Barbara and into the Pacific Ocean here just next to State Street. And I will tell you more about Mission Creek later on during our trolley journey. Well, on the left side, my friends, is West Beach, another center of the of volleyball, right? More volleyball courts here on West Beach. Beyond West Beach, though, you can see the Santa Barbara Marina, right? There's kind of a rise in the road down there. Originally that was called the Burton Mound, and it was an archaeological dig for many years where thousands of artifacts from Shumash life were discovered. So there were a cluster of villages here, different number of villages from time to time, but this is where the Shumash tended to have their villages back in early Santa Barbara history, including during the Spanish era, right? As a matter of fact, there's a street back there called Yananali. Now, when the Spanish first started arriving here, it was Chief Yananali that was sort of in charge of the Shumash. As a matter of fact, he basically presided over something like 13 different tribes, sects of the Shumash. This is the Moxie Science Museum, directly on the right side. It is an interactive, hands-on museum. Great place to take the kids, right? The Moxie Science Museum. Okay, we're gonna take a left onto State Street, right? There's another white building over on the left side. We'll have a better view of it here in a minute as we swing around to the left. This is the Reagan Ranch Center. Now, and it is basically sort of a museum dedicated to former governor and former president Ronald Reagan. Right and the left side, right across the street. Now, originally, of course, this was a big rectangular fortress, right, as you can imagine, right? And if you look over on the right, behind the building there, the Adobe building, there's an Adobe brick wall. That wall surrounded, of course, the entire fortress, right? And or the entire, I should say, Presidio. Now you can see just parts of the Presidio are left. It is considered a park, right? A state park. And there are docents here that would love to take you around and tell you all about Spanish life here at the Presidio. The chapel still functions. There's still services there. There's people still have weddings there at the Presidio Chapel on the left side. So here you get a good idea of what the close-up view of the old Presidio here. Just up ahead on the left side, everybody, another beautiful theater built in 1933. The Arlington Theater. Arlington Theater designed to look like a Spanish villa, right? There's a big plaza in the middle. It's a huge theater, though. It can actually seat about 1,500 people. But it also is considered one of the most beautiful theaters in the country. If you get a chance, you gotta pop in there and check out the beautiful Arlington Theater, Santa Barbara Natural Science Museum. But as we cruise by, one thing I'd like to introduce you all to Chad. Chad is directly on the right side. Chad is the skeleton of a blue whale. This whale washed up on shore just north of Santa Barbara back in 1980. Chad is almost 98% complete, and he weighs about 7,000 pounds. Now, just up ahead on the left, of course, is the Santa Barbara Mission, my friends. Considered the most beautiful of all the missions, sometimes called the Queen of the Missions. And it is the only mission with 2 bell towers. It's also the only mission that has functioned as a Catholic church since its inception. Now, when Mexico took over in 1821, they secularized a lot of these missions, which means they basically took the missions over from the Catholic Church. Santa Barbara Mission was originally established in 1786 by Father Furman Lawson, a Franciscan priest, right? The Franciscans still run the Santa Barbara Mission. The